Hello, nerds! Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. I know I've been gone for 2 weeks, but this is your Week in Nerdom Movies Edition for the week of April 30th, 2018, also known as the first week of May.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
Alright, we've got 2 weeks of ground to cover. I know I'm going to miss some stuff, but we're going to try and get as much done as we can. First up, we have Gremlins 3? Yes, that one Christmas movie that nobody wants to admit is a... Well, no, there's another one that nobody wants to admit is a Christmas movie, and that's Die Hard. Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't care. You want to fight about it? Anyway, Gremlins 3, Chris Columbus, the executive producer extraordinaire who has produced a lot of stuff with his company 1492, has been actively talking about making a third movie. And also has said that should it happen, it will most definitely be a reboot. There is apparently a slight chance it will not be. It will be a continuation of the story, but I hope it's not a reboot. I hope they continue the story. Or a legacy sequel. That would be cool too. But we went through a phase where we were getting those legacy sequels and it was working out really nicely, but I feel like we might be past that at this point. So, whatever. Next up on our list, we're talking about Deadpool 2, which comes out next month. I hope you have your tickets. Lord knows I don't yet, but I'm going to. I'm gonna get them, I swear. Josh Brolin is thinking in terms of a four movie story arc. So he's gonna be back. We know this though. Like and Zazie Beetz, it just came out that she's doing 3 movies. Yeah, that's how they work. They're not all gonna be Deadpool. Brolin's likely to be back for the X-Force movie. That's what Zazie Beetz' next movie is gonna be, is the X-Force movie. Or Zazay, I don't remember. So yeah, like this, I feel like this isn't necessarily news. The news part is that it's 4 movies and not 3. He didn't say that he signed a contract. He just said he's thinking in a 4-movie story arc. So potentially he will be in the 3rd Deadpool movie and whatever crossover. That's going to be really weird when that finally happens and he's Thanos and Cable. But yeah, so that's really cool. I just wanted to put Deadpool news in here because I love Deadpool, and any news about Deadpool is good news. So next on the list, we're talking about the 4th movie about Xander Cage, aka Triple X. Vin Diesel has started production on the next movie. So pre-production, I believe, is where they're at. They haven't made any casting announcements. They are finalizing scripts. They are scouting locations. They have not begun primary photography yet. That is very likely a few months down the road still. But he said on a late night show, man, a few months back, I can't remember exactly where. I think it was Jimmy Fallon. He said that he has the Triple X franchise and the Fast and Furious franchise planned out like 3 or 4 movies ahead. So don't be surprised if we get Triple X 5 and Triple X 6. Yeah. Would that be quadruple? No, that would be sextuple X. Anyway, so interesting. I don't hate the Triple X movies. They're not great by any stretch of the imagination, but they are great popcorn fodder. So that seems to take up the landscape anymore, so he's going to have to fight for his time at the box office, but I don't know. It could happen. It's Vin Diesel. People love that guy. Next up, we're talking about Wonder Woman 2 news. Linda Carter has been talking with Patty Jenkins, and Patty Jenkins basically said, it's a done deal. I just have to have Warner Brothers sign off on your cameo. It could be a cameo, it could be a minor part, some sort of superior to Wonder Woman that Linda Carter plays. It would be awesome either way to see Linda Carter, even if it's just oh look in the background, that's Linda Carter right there walking by. That still would be great. It would be the homage that everybody's looking for. So it seems though this is up to Warner Brothers. If Warner Brothers gives it the okay, then so that they can pay Linda Carter whatever it is she's asking, because apparently that is the thing that's stopping it, is she's asking for a fair amount of money. With the success of the first movie, I can't see them not doing it in the second movie. So, kicking on next down the road, we are talking about the Birds of Prey movie, which we know is happening, and the Suicide Squad 2 movie. Right now, Birds of Prey, there are 2 existing scripts that are apparently vastly different. The only similarities between the 2 scripts are 2 characters, Batgirl and Harley Quinn. Everything else, including the cast of characters anyway, is different. So no real casting announcements have been made yet. But it is also part of their plan now that Warner Brothers maybe has a handle on what the hell they're doing. It is part of their plan that they're going to roll in immediately following the production of Birds of Prey into Suicide Squad 2. So kind of like they did with Avengers, in that they did 3 and 4 back-to-back with filming. They're potentially going to do Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad 2 back-to-back with filming. So will this, my question to you guys, will this be a Batgirl trilogy, or are they trying to get as much out there as possible to see what sticks? I'm handing that off to you guys. What do you think? Let's talk about that down low in those comments. Next on the list is still over in Warner Brothers territory, still over in DC territory, Deathstroke. Joe Mangianello has been hinting recently about a possible origin movie for Deathstroke. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. From the interview that I read with him, he didn't sound like he knew a whole hell of a lot about Deathstroke's actual origin, but he knew a little bit, and he's not going to be the guy writing it. Potentially he'll be a producer on the project, but he's not going to be the guy writing it. And it will possibly be directed by Gareth Evans. So that could be really, really great. That could be one of the movies that sets DC apart from Marvel, because Deathstroke, by and large, is a villain. Occasionally he's an anti-hero, but vastly, he is a villain. He is one of the thorns in Batman and Green Arrow's sides. So that could be awesome. That could really be awesome. Next on the list, though, we're talking about Black Panther 2. Just a real quick update for Black Panther 2. They are actively working with Brian Coogler for a deal for him to direct. So, yeah. It's gonna happen. Like, I don't know why people feel like this is necessarily news. We know this is going down. Coogler coming back makes sense, because I feel like if they're gonna do a trilogy, then they should keep as many of the moving parts the same as possible, and the director is a key part of that group of people. So yeah, it makes sense. Bring Coogler back. See if he can actually give us a villain that will last more than just one movie. Give us a villain that's going to last as long as the hero. That's a novel idea, right? Next on the list, though, is Star Trek stuff. We talked about Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek and how it might be rated R, and how Zachary Quinto... Actually, we didn't talk about this because this has happened since we have not done a nerdy episode, but Quinto came out a little while ago and said that there's actually a few different things floating about, and Tarantino's movie might not actually get made. Well, now they're adding to the confusion. They're looking for a female director, so not Quentin Tarantino, to direct the 4th movie with Quinto and Chris Pine. That universe, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek universe, they want a female director for the next movie, but they're also potentially still going to make the Quentin Tarantino movie. It will just be in a different timeline, which seems needlessly confusing. Why not just do the Tarantino bit, hold on to the script, unless it's really that socially relevant that it must be made now. And, I mean, Tarantino's got plenty on his plate anyway. We can get the Star Wars 4 and have Tarantino's script be Star Wars 5. Why make an extra timeline movie? It just doesn't add up to me. But that's all we got for the Star Trek. Now we're kicking over to the other star, and that's the Star Wars. Han Solo leaked to Esquire that he signed a 3-movie deal to be Han Solo. Alden Ehrenreich. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name. So yeah, he leaked to Esquire that he signed a three movie deal. It was kind of more of an implication than an actual, oh yeah, I'm going to be Han Solo for 3 movies. So I feel like they left that option there for him, and if Solo does well, then he'll get the other 2 movies. I feel like that seems more in up their alley right now, because it sounds like there is a touch of trepidation after the mistakes of The Last Jedi. So, very interesting. Moving on to our last bit of news. We talked about this movie a couple weeks ago, Night Watch, that is going to be Spike Lee's superhero movie with the showrunner from Luke Cage, Leo Chio Hodari. They have begun casting. No casting has been finalized yet, but they have begun casting, so we are moving along the process. We are going to see a Spike Lee directed superhero movie. Very strange. But we talked about this last time. Still potentially really awesome. Still very interesting to see an indie filmmaker like Spike Lee do his version of a superhero movie. So that is where we are ending this week's movies episode, guys. What did I miss? What should we talk about next week? Let me know in the comments down low. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website. GenerallyNerdy.net is where you can do that. You can also find links to the stores. Go support the channel. Get yourself some nerdy swag. You can find all of the social media links, everything for free, up on the website. GenerallyNerdy.net. Also, if you want to support the channel a little more directly, jump over to Patreon, patreon.com/generallynerdy, so that you can do that. If you're falling behind on your nerd news and you want to catch up, click or tap that box to the left of my face to do that. But before we go, before we finish this episode, before you click on any of those buttons, please always remember, if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.